Hi guys, welcome to Photoshop for Beginner Part 2. If you haven't watched Part 1, go to our channel. There you find Part 1. Make sure you watch Part 1 before coming back to Part 2 so you can have a better understanding of it all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you get notified whenever we drop a video. Let's get started. This is where the magic happens. This is where the magic happens. This is where you can edit your images, make it brighter, make it sharper, add textures to your image, make it darker if you want it to be, however you want it to be. This is where the magic happens. Now we're going to start with our basic. We're going to start with our basic. Now we're going to go ahead and then increase the exposure. Let's go ahead and expose the image a bit. Let's go to 30. And then we're going to add the contrasts. Let's stop at 15. I think this works. And then we're going to add the highlights to 15. Highlights to 15. Always reduce your shadows, guys. Always reduce your shadows. Your shadows should always be on the negative side. Your whites on the positive side. And your black on the negative side. Whenever you're editing, always look at your picture. Make sure none of these features is looking too much on the design. It's looking too much on the image. Make sure none of these features is looking too much on the image. Now this is my favorite, the texture. Go ahead and you add up the texture. You can see what it's doing to the image, right? You can see what it's doing to the image. Now let's reduce it. You can see how the image is looking now. Let's increase it back. You can see the difference. You can see the difference it has made to this image. Let's go ahead. This is before we start editing and this is after we have touched the image. Now this is another of my favorite, sharpening. Now you go ahead and you sharpen it. You sharpen this image a bit. Again, whenever you are retouching your image, always look at the image and make sure that you're not overdoing it. Always make sure you're not overdoing it. Now we're going to go ahead and reduce our texture a bit, because when we are done designing, we're still going to bring it back to camera raw. So we want to reduce our texture a bit so that when we do camera raw again, it doesn't tend to be too much. Alright, we are done. Just click on OK. Now you see the difference. This is before and this is after. Now I want us to reduce, take this back here a bit. Okay, this is perfect. Click on OK. Now we're going to introduce our text tool. We're going to introduce our text tool. This is our horizontal type tool. This is our vertical type tool. Vertical type tool. This is our vertical type mask tool, horizontal type mask tool. You can see an illustration of all what they do and how they represent. This is horizontal, this is vertical. So we want to use our horizontal type tool. Now we want to go ahead and go on to the toolbar, select your text tool, and then just now when I click it here, it's going to go underneath everything because I am selecting my color fill layer, which is a layer beneath all this. So I want to go ahead and click on this image layer right here, so that my right top can come on top the image. And then I'll go ahead and just click once. You can see that my text tool has a lot of properties. It has, this is the font. This is where you can choose any fonts you want to use. Okay, let's do it from here so you can see. This is where you can pick any font you want to use. Any font you want to use, you can pick them. Now you would want to go ahead and download a lot of fonts on your system. Download and install fonts so that you can have good designs. When you have good fonts, your design will come out good. Graphic design and fonts work hand in hand. Now we're just going to use a simple, I love using Montserrat, guys. I love Montserrat. I love Montserrat. So we're going to use Montserrat. Now we're going to write down everything we want. Write down everything we want. Then we'll start editing. Now create, Ctrl T. Let's increase this a bit. Increase this a bit. Now we want to use another font for this. Okay, let's go ahead and use a script font. Let's go ahead and use a script font. There's a font here. I'm going to be using Autograph. Okay, let me see this. All right, let's go with this. I'm going to be using Autograph. Let's now use only. I want to increase this a bit up high. Don't forget, when you want to do that, you click on Ctrl C. Earlier on, I spoke on rulers. And I said it is going to help a lot in aligning your text, in aligning your design. Make sure everything on your design is aligned properly. I'm going to drag our ruler and then we're going to drop it here, making sure every other text that comes aligns with this first text that's here. Right, now we are done editing create. Now something today, we're going to leave it at Montserrat. Bring it here, but we're going to make it bolder. Pick it up. Now you can just pick it and then drag it to move it. That's another way. Or you can just click on your arrow tool. Click on the arrow tool on your PC to do that. Now you can see when I click on shift and I click on my arrow tool, it tends to jump faster. Right, it tends to jump faster. So you can do this, or you can hold on shift to move faster. So just go up a bit. Yeah, perfect. Now we're done with this, so we're going to go on here, edit even, and bring on even here. We're going to make it bold. Ctrl T. It looks small, so we're going to increase it. Bring it up here. Customize your text however it will, as far as it's going to look good. Customize your text however as far as it's going to look good. We're going to go on to the colors later, but for now I think we should add this image, increase this image a bit. Click OK. All right, bring it down a bit. Maybe bring it down a bit. Then we're going to go on, and if it creates something today, even if it doesn't look good, guys, create something today even if it doesn't look good. Rehearse, practice. Photoshop has everything to do with practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect, guys. Practice makes perfect. Don't sleep. Don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it. Now we're going to bring, even if is a short, it looks too small, right? Even if, so what we're going to do is we're going to come down to our property bar, and then we're going to set trackings. We're going to set the tracking. We're going to increase the tracking. Yeah, perfect. We're going to increase the tracking for this, maybe to, let's say 300. Let's increase the tracking to 300, and then just use the arrow key on your keyboard to move it until it looks perfectly aligned where you want it to be. Alright, now let's do doesn't. Now I want us to use our shape tool here. Let's go ahead and use our shape tool here. Now I want to create a shape, a rectangle. Go ahead and select your rectangle tool, and then just hold on to your left key and then just drag to create, drag to create, drag to create. Now you could see what I spoke about earlier. I told you layers are like deck of cards. What you want to be on top will cover up everything beneath. Now you can see I created this rectangle on top the layer of, on top the text layer of doesn't, but I want the rectangle to be under doesn't, so I have to take the card called doesn't on top the card called rectangle. So I'm just going to take this card beneath this card. Why I'm saying card is because we are explaining layers with cards. So now they are both in black, so you can't see any. You can't see this text on this rectangle because the text is black and the rectangle is black. So maybe we're going to change this to white. And we are done with designing, and we are done arranging everything, then we'll think about colors. When we are done doing everything, we are going to set our colors. Now I don't want the edges of this rectangle to be too sharp. I want it to be a little bit curvy. Now I can set the feel of my rectangle. I can change the colors. I can play with the colors from here. But let's leave it at black before we come back to editing. But I don't want it to have any stroke, so I'm just going to cancel the stroke. Then I'm just going to curve it a bit using this place. Curve it a bit. Now this right here, this pin right here shows that all the four sides of that rectangle are linked together. So whatever I do here replicates itself in the rest three sides. Whatever I do here replicates itself on every side because it's pinned. But when I don't want it to do that, I'm just going to unpin it, and then when I do this, it goes one-sided. When I do this, it goes one-sided. Do you get? So what I want it to be pinned. I want it to be pinned, so I'm going to reduce this right here and then curve it all equally. Yeah, so it looks too big, so I'm going to just select this, Ctrl T, and then reduce a bit. Make sure it doesn't align properly, and then I'm going to select my rectangle, and then I'm going to resize my rectangle. You can hold on Shift and then left click to just add up, or any other side you want to add, but right here I want to just reduce it a bit, reduce it a bit. Now this is perfect. Now I'm going to hold on Shift, select doesn't, so I can resize them together. Now I want doesn't to be right at the middle of this rectangle, so I'm just going to hold on Shift, click on rectangle, and then I'm going to go on this place right here, and then I'm going to tap. This means center alignment, this means left align, this is right align, this is top, this is middle, this is bottom. So I want it to be in the middle here, in the middle here, so this is perfect. Just arrange it down. Even if it's now next up, look, even if it doesn't look good, just resize this, take it, make sure it aligns, now we want this right here to align with doesn't, so it looks properly situated. So let's increase this right here. Now just take good to a corner. Just take this to a corner right here. Just bring it down a bit and maybe make it bold. Yeah, perfect. So all this looks so small for me. It looks so small, so I want to resize all these writings right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the first text right here, scroll up to the last text right here, and then I'm going to, holding my Shift key, just I'm going to click on the last one right here to select everything. I'm going to click on Ctrl C, and then I'm going to transform every writing here. I'm going to transform every writing here. And see, yes, perfect. And then we're going to take this to this corner right here. Perfect. Now let's play with the colors. Create, let's give it a bit of brown, something brown. I love red, guys. I love red designs. It looks so good. Designs look so good in red. I don't know if it's just me, but I love red. So let's just give it a brownish look. And then this right here, maybe we should leave it in black. Maybe this right here. Okay, let's change this. Maybe just give it a red tint. can just play around with your red tools. Just play around with the color red. Basically, play around with the color red on this design. Just play around with the color red. Let's make this same color with this. You can just sample the color from here. You're going to get the perfect color. Then maybe let's give this, you can just pick anything from here. Yes, you can see when I touch the rectangle, it selects this one, this one, this one, and then just go ahead to your property bar, and then you can edit anything that you selected. So we're going to tap on good, and then we're going to change the color to edit this, give it this color right here. Give it this color right here. All right. Alright, so we're going to try to do something, try to make this image black and white, right? We're going to try to make this image black and white so we can make it blend with this red color. So we want to give this image a reddish color vibe so that it will match the text per se, because she's wearing blue and then we're using red, so it kind of looks off. So you would want your image to like blend with the idea of the design. You want it to like blend. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a color above. We're going to put a color above this image right here. So we're going to create a new layer, and then we're going to create a solid color. As you can see, solid color covers all this. We're just going to sample this red, and then we're going to click on OK. Now as you can see, this red is above this because, like I said, deck of cards. So this is above these layers, and then it is beneath this text layer. That's why you can easily see the text on the red. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pin this. Okay, so how do you pin? You either hold on Alt and then bring your cursor to the middle of the boat and just click, or you can just right click on this and then you create clipping marks and then to clip. So then let's go ahead and change the blend mode. You can see we can play around with it. Oh, I love this. Okay, let's see if this would work. Let's reduce the opacity a bit so it doesn't work. I don't think this would work. So I want to give this background a little bit of shadows around it, so it can give a particular focus to what we have here. So what we're going to do is now we're going to set our foreground color to this. Yeah, this is the color we sampled at first, so we're going to set our foreground color to that, and then we're going to come over to the background because we want it to be on top of the background but underneath every other thing. So we're just going to create a new layer, and then we're going to pick our brush tool. Now this is another use for brush tool. Now you can go ahead and increase the size of your brush. Go ahead and increase the size of your brush. You can just increase the size of your brush and then just click around it, and then just click around it. So it's looking too much. And you reduce the opacity. Good. It's looking good already. Just reduce the opacity. And then make sure your image is properly situated, properly placed. Okay, we want to reduce this a bit. Yeah, perfect. So you want to go ahead and just put a watermark on your design. Click here and just, my name is Shelma, so I'm just going to write Shelma Designs. Okay, let's write at Shelma Designs. Just make it very small, just like a watermark. Just like a watermark, and just maybe drop it here, anywhere that works for you. Just reduce it a bit. Just leave it there. Now we're going to play around with our shape tool. Let's create a lot of shapes around our design. You can see it has a stroke, and I don't want it to have a stroke. You can leave the stroke, but we don't want our design to have a stroke. So let's just play around these tools. Then you can Ctrl J to duplicate, Ctrl J to duplicate, and let's just play around with it. Or you can just drag it here to duplicate, or you can Ctrl J, anyhow you want to do it. Let's just play around with the shape. Okay, let's take this the image. Let's just play around with the shape. Ctrl J, play around. Let's reduce this one a bit. Okay, let's use another one. Like that. Ctrl T, and then you resize it, turn it around, and let's place it somewhere here. Okay, I think we should change the color for this one right here. Yeah, so you can duplicate by holding your Alt and your left key. So just, yeah, so you see, Alt, left key. Okay, now let's take this one beneath our, then let's Ctrl T, and then let's turn it around. Yeah, perfect. And then let's come back here, just Alt, left key, drag, Alt, left key, drag. Let's slant this a bit. Okay. All right, I think our design is coming together. Okay, let's just swap some colors. Let's play around with colors, guys. Let's try yellow. Let's try yellow. Okay. Let's try. Let's try yellow. Fill. Okay. Stop this and then let's change it to yellow. I think it looks good. Or we could. Okay, let's leave it like this. Alright, so we are going to change our image to black and white, and then we'll do that by first of all rasterizing the layer of the image, which we will right click and then you rasterize the layer, and then you click shift control U. As you can see, we've turned it to black and white, and then we turn it back to smart objects. I think we should take it back to camera raw so that we can make it more elaborate. Yeah, so let's increase the texture more, make it more brighter. Just increase it to 10. Just increase it to 10. 10. Contrast, increase it just a bit of the edge. Same thing we did at first, but this time around just add it a bit. Then go to detail and we sharpen it more. Click on OK. Yeah, here we go. Now let's play around with it, and then let's reduce it even more. Alright, we want to go down and then give this background. Okay, let's leave it at what it is. Good. Now let's come here and reduce this even more. Good. Now we want to add a little bit of a text. Take this up a bit, and then just bring this here. Alright, now what we would want to do is just add a bit of a text beneath this one. So let's write consistency is key. Consistency is key. Practice makes perfect. Then let's go ahead and take it to medium, and then we reduce it down because we want it to just be down here alone, so we're going to reduce it. Now you can go ahead and add your socials down here and any other thing you would want to be on this design. But for now we are done. This is a simple and a basic design for beginners. You can see we didn't do much on the background. We just put on a background and then we learned how to use our tools, how to use our properties, how to arrange our layers, how to bring out our rulers. And then on the next class we would go further on how you can use Photoshop properly. Make sure to click the subscribe button, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can get a notification when we drop another video again. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video. Bye.